The 16th game in the long-running Final Fantasy series is coming out soon, and gosh, does it look amazing. The trailer dropped back originally in December, and it featured incredible graphics, heart-racing action, and a killer soundtrack that the almost 40-year-old franchise is known for. But as the game's release date quickly approaches, the radical left is giving people a friendly reminder that this game is terrible, and you're terrible if you play it. Why? Because the trailer didn't have any black people in it. Back when the trailer first dropped, race-obsessed losers noticed that none of the characters had dark skin tones, and they promptly lost their minds. In an interview with several members of the game's development team, gaming outlet IGN asked, "Can we expect to see black characters in Final Fantasy XVI, or people of color in general, as if a game needs black people to be good or something?" Producer Naoki Yoshida responded that the game was mostly based on medieval European cultures and civilizations, and that they wanted to be true to the setting by making the characters look European. He concluded by saying that the team wanted the focus to be less on the outward appearance of the characters and more on who they are as people. People who are complex and diverse in their natures, backgrounds, beliefs, personalities, and motivations. Peoples whose stories we can resonate with. So, actual diversity. But the left claimed that this was all just an excuse and that the game is evil and racist and horrible. You can have dragons and magic and monsters, but no black people? Having minorities in your game will break the immersion, bro? That's messed up. My personal favorite, by the way, is when leftists try to claim that medieval Europe was diverse too, and that London in 800 AD had the same ethnic makeup as modern-day San Francisco. Like, that's a thing. But this has become a common theme amongst the radical left these days, that you have to shoehorn in minorities even when it looks really weird. Let's take another game, God of War Ragnarok. The game focuses on hero Kratos as he embarks on a journey through ancient Scandinavia. During his quest, he encounters various gods and goddesses of the Norse pantheon, like Thor, Odin, Freya, Loki, all of these people that you know. Also features is Angrboda, mother of monsters and lover of that aforementioned trickster god Loki. The game developers decided that this Norse character from a culture about as far away from Africa as you can get should be black. When fans reacted by saying that this didn't make any sense, broke immersion, they were quickly shut down as racist and told that it's fantasy so they can do whatever they want. But that point about immersion here is really important. In a game, immersion is the thing that keeps you sucked in and engaged. If a story starts to go in an unbelievable direction, the player is pulled out and ceases to enjoy it. And for narrative-based games like Final Fantasy and God of War, that immersion is the cornerstone of the game. If you care about consistent lore, like having characters that reflect the setting, they're going to call you a bigot and a racist. But it's not bigoted to want a game to make sense. On that note, there's this other really frustrating thing that the whole Final Fantasy XVI drama highlights, which is this idea that representation is essential for minority gamers. Otherwise, they can't put themselves into the story. One of the people at IGN involved in that interview wrote that as someone who's been black and a Final Fantasy fan all her life, that she too had problem with Yoshida's answer. So, hang on a sec here. You were a fan of Final Fantasy back in the day when it wasn't diverse? According to you, that makes you a terrible person and a racist. But that's not true. The truth is that the characters in these games, just like real people, should be seen as complex bundles of actions and stories. Players should relate to them on those merits as opposed to things like sex or race. One of my personal favorite video game characters of all time is a character named Lee from Telltale's Walking Dead series. Lee is a selfless, courageous, and positive role model to a young girl that he cares for over the course of the game. Also happens to be a black man. On a side note, my brother is a huge fan of Sonic the Hedgehog, and last time I checked, he wasn't a blue hedgehog, so not quite sure how that goes. The left is killing good storytelling based on their obsession with race. And honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if these characters are black, white, pink, purple. At the end of the day, remember, it doesn't have to be somebody that you look like. I love me some Pokemon, and last time I checked, I'm not a yellow mouse.